Ever since the release of Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker's teaser trailer just a couple of months ago over at Star Wars Celebration, it left a lot of fans very excited and eager of what's to come next by director J.J. Abrams, with the upcoming trailer 2 that is slated for release over at D23 on August 24th. This is Mike Zero. Make sure to subscribe if you're new to the channel for future Star Wars content. Now, what's really exciting about Episode 9 is that we do know that this film is going to answer a lot of the burning questions from The Force Awakens, as well as creating new questions at the very beginning of this movie that will be answered at the very end of the film by JJ, George, and even Chris Terrio. Now, these past couple of weeks or so, we've been learning a whole lot more about this film, and when it all comes down to various shot descriptions of the upcoming trailer 2 of this movie, this is where things begin to get very exciting for Episode 9. Now, specifically, what's really intriguing about all of this is that shot descriptions consisting of both Rey and Kylo Ren fighting with their lightsabers, where the shots of them clashing their sabers are actually described to be quick and rapid, where both Kylo and Rey are drenched from the water while fighting. It's described that while they fight in the trailer, a revised track by John Williams of Battle of the Heroes is heard and played over the shots. It's described that one of the shots involves a moment in which Kylo jumps in mid-air and performs a front flip over Rey and lands behind her. The next describes a sequence in which Rey is walking into a site full of ancient ruins of the Jedi and the Sith, where as she looks up at the various statues of the Jedi and Sith, it's said that the voices of Obi-Wan, Anakin, Darth Vader, and Palpatine are heard in the background. It's said that their voices are taken directly from past episodes of the prequels and the originals, as Rey examines the Jedi and Sith ruins. Another describes a moment in which Kylo and his Knights of Ren are all surrounding Rey on a large bridge that is very wide that connects to a large building, where in the background a large war between TIE daggers and X-Wings are seen in the sky. Kylo Ren is actually said to be using the Force Freeze technique, also known as Force Stasis, on the character of Rey during the shot. Lastly, a rear shot of Luke Skywalker walking into a dark cave, with R2-D2 where the cave begins to show ancient text that glows in a gold color. This most likely is in the form of a flashback, as Luke's voiceover talks about his knowledge of the ancient Jedi. So let's go over a couple of parts about this, because we do know that Episode 9 is going to really dive deep into the mythology of Star Wars. We're talking about Jedi, Sith, and Force lore, as well as ancient lore that's going to be explained by the characters of Luke, Rey, and Kylo, and Palpatine. And I think what's so exciting about that is the fact that we are finally getting that type of lore that Star Wars fans really wanted to see in Star Wars The Last Jedi, which would have been a better time to explore this because that was the middle film of the trilogy and now we're in the last. So I do have hope that JJ will be able to pull all of this off perfectly. Now, the one thing that really stands out to me a lot is where we have a sequence in which Rey is actually being surrounded by the Knights of Ren and Kylo Ren on top of a large, wide bridge that connects to a large building. Now, I have no doubt that this is, of course, going to be the headquarters of the First Order, as we have been hearing about for a very long time now, that instead of Kylo Ren going mobile like Snoke, he now has a legitimate headquarters on an unknown world somewhere over in the Outer Rim. So what's exciting about this is that it's actually said that Kylo Ren is using the Force Stasis technique on Rey, also known as Force Freeze. Now, the last time that we saw Kylo use this technique on Rey was at the very, I guess you could say, the middle point, or at the end of the middle point of The Force Awakens, where they are on Takodana and Kylo Ren takes her away. So we pretty much have the same exact scenario here, except all Knights of Ren are surrounding Rey in a circular fashion, where Rey is actually said to be standing there in front of Kylo Ren, and in the background we have X-Wings going up against a new TIE Fighter variant called the TIE Daggers. Now, the TIE Daggers are the new TIE Fighter types that will make their debut in this movie. So the other thing that I do want to go over is how there's actually said to be a sequence involving Rey, a rear shot of her, walking into a site full of ancient Jedi and Sith ruins. Now, without a doubt, this is, of course, the Lost City, and it's actually explained that during this shot, we do hear the past voices of Anakin, Palpatine, Obi-Wan, and others in the mix that are taken directly from the prequels and the originals, and how they are going to be utilized in the trailers are really going to be very interesting, because we do know that they did something very similar with this in The Last Jedi, of hearing the voices of Leia and Obi-Wan, etc. So, the other piece that I really want to go over that caught my interest is the one about Luke Skywalker entering a dark cave with R2-D2, and as he enters the cave, very briefly, there's a sequence in which the ancient code written on the stone of the actual cave glows in a gold color, where Luke's voiceover is talking about the ancient Jedi before it fades to black for that specific shot. Without a doubt, that is a flashback. We will be learning more about Luke Skywalker's past. In fact, we got a little tease of a flashback by the Vanity Fair pictures that we got a couple of months ago, where you do in fact see Luke Skywalker next to R2-D2. So that may very well be connected to what we are talking about right now as we speak. So, with that being said, guys, let me know what you think about all this in the comments, and if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.